It's starting to get real empty. One couch is gone. The other couch is gonna be gone. We're getting rid of that. Stack of boxes is getting progressively taller. If you are new and you're wondering how we got here, or if you haven't been tapped into my videos for a while and you're like, wait a minute, girl, did I miss something? You definitely did. Go back 2 videos to get the update, but let's continue on with the story and everything that I was talking about in the last video. So like I said, we went through at least 6 houses first, and then it was like the 7th house that I walked into and I was like, oh my God, I think this is the house. Now, the thing that I loved about the house that just felt like the one is, first of all, it had such character. And one of the things that I was starting to realize is I was like, although the more modern houses were nice, I've always wanted to live in like an older house that had character. I really love the Victorian style houses, and this particular house was very much old world Victorian style house. So, I mean, even on down to like the window panes were so unique and intricate that I was like, oh my gosh, it just made the outside of the house look wild. Like, the people who have already seen the house said that it either looks like a castle from the outside, or it gives Harry Potter vibes, or, you know, it's just very Victorian, old world, great character type of house. But inside it just felt so, like I said, you guys will see the house, but let's continue on like with everything else that happened. So we saw that house. I'm like, this is the house. We leave that house and immediately make an offer. Like, we leave, we're like, nope, this is the one. I want to make an offer before anything else happens because I want this house. Now, here's the kicker. This house actually had gone on the market the day that we landed, the day that we got there. When I think about that, and I think back to the fact that we almost booked tickets to come the following day instead of the day that we actually got out there, it's kind of like interesting how God orchestrated this, because he was like, no, I need you to get out there on Friday. You can't get out there on Saturday because the house that's gonna be for you, it's going on the market Friday. You need to be there to put in an offer for this house that's going on the market Friday. So I just thought it was very interesting. The house we ended up getting is the house that went on the market the day that we got out there. It was like not a house that we had seen prior, like planning our trip. It wasn't one of the houses that was on our list that we were like, okay, let's go see that. It just kind of popped up. The other interesting thing though is I remember praying that God hold our house, the house that's supposed to be for us, so that it is available for us when we get out there. Like, I thought I was praying for one of the houses that we already saw. I had no idea he was literally gonna hold the house off the market until the day that we got there and we landed. So we actually were one of the first offers to be put in. We were one of the first to put an offer into the house. That's how I want to say that. We were actually the first to put an offer into the house. However, there were 4 other offers on this house. So because of that, it was one of those things where it was like, okay, we might not get the house. And on that chance, we still only have a limited amount of time that we can find a house. We're only out here for a weekend. So we went on to view even more houses. When I tell you we viewed probably 30 houses, we viewed probably 30 houses. And it had nothing to do with how good or bad our realtors were. Our realtors were amazing. Like, this is my family, so they know like my standards and what I like, but they were literally showing me everything that was an option so that I could make an informed decision. So he was like, you know what? Now we need to start looking at all these other houses, and you need to start in your mind comparing all of these other houses to the one you love to make sure it's really the one you love. So we went to go see this other house. We saw quite a few houses with the pool. we saw had amazing bathrooms. Some of them had amazing pool areas. Some of them had really amazing like living and dining areas. But for every single house, there was just something about it that just did not feel right. Like there were things about it that I'm just like, I don't really like this. I don't really like that. Like I love this, but it just doesn't really feel right. I was comparing it to the way that I felt when I first walked into the house we put our offer in on. So the two houses that you saw, you can see they both had pools. One of them even had that really cool like atrium style sunroom attached to the back of the house. But again, there were things about the houses I didn't like. Like the first house was great. The master bathroom, amazing. But I wasn't really feeling the layout of it as much. And then the second house, it was okay. Like I could see that they were trying to do like updates and, you know, modernize it, but I felt like the materials that they were using for the house were cheap materials. And my main thing was, how solid does this house feel when I walk in? I like a house that feels sturdy, which is why I started to realize I wasn't really vibing with the new builds, because sometimes unless you're with a really, really good new build, a new build company, like there's certain types of homes that I'm just not really a fan of, but there's certain ones, like I think they're called like Weston or Westwood, I can't remember. But there's certain new houses we looked at that felt so solid and amazing from the inside. But then there were certain ones we walked into and I'm like, everything just feels kind of hollow. Like the carpet doesn't even feel like it has padding on it, or the flooring feels cheap or whatever. Like I was looking for a house that felt solid and like it was made of high quality materials. And that second house that you guys just saw, all of the materials that they were using on the walls and all of that felt cheap. However, the kitchen in that one felt like it was made of amazing materials. So it was kind of like all of this, you get here but you sacrifice here kind of feeling. And I just felt like with the house that we loved, I didn't feel like I was sacrificing anything. After that, we went to go sit down and eat because we needed to like kind of reconvene and go over like all of the different options. And can I just say, one thing I'm so looking forward to is the food. Like these fries are actually insane.
That's gonna put you to sleep.
This is gonna be a few bites and then she's done. I absolutely did not finish even half of this, but I highly recommend. I don't even remember what the place was called because I don't even think I had it on video, but oh my gosh, amazing. So we're now on Sunday morning and we've had 2 days of just nonstop looking at houses. I still am like contemplating because we need to figure out a secondary house like as a backup just in case. And at this point, of all the houses we've seen, our backups were literally the two houses that we saw on the first day. It would be the first one that you guys saw from that video, house number 1, and then also potentially house number, what was it, 2? No, house number 3. The thing with house number 3 though was I just was not really comfortable with the amount of work that needed to be done to bring it up to my standards. So it was starting to look like house number 1 from the very first day was gonna be our second choice. Because we still had a little bit of time and we needed to like wait for everybody to get up, me and my husband decided to get up and go in the area of the house that we love and just kind of like peek around the neighborhood, go get coffee, see what the vibe was giving in the morning. So we ended up at this cute little coffee shop that actually had really good coffee and amazing crepes. All right, so we are getting breakfast. Sitting outside, it's starting to sprinkle. Obviously not ideal. We have seen so many houses. They're all starting to blend together. We've seen some really bad ones. We've seen some amazing ones. And we saw one that I immediately felt like was the perfect one. So we did put an offer in, but we don't know yet if we're gonna get it. So today we're still looking at more houses, but now we're in the area that we know we actually want to be in. So we're going to be looking at places in this particular area. And yeah, we're going to get breakfast, but now it's starting to rain. Yeah, got to get inside.
We gotta go.
Okay, so we're back inside at the original table. I am not trying to like, I need my hair to last. So anyway, we're going to see, we have at least 3 more houses on our list. And they're building a list of like just a few more just in case. But honestly, I'm just hoping to hear back from the other one today. Because I feel like that's the one. If you guys saw it, you would see it's so my vibe. It's so on brand for me. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. After we finished eating, we met up with my cousins. We looked at some more houses and we finally found a house that we actually liked better than the first house we saw when we touched down. However, the thing was is I wasn't like crazy about the area. It was a great area, don't get me wrong. It was a very nice area. However, it was like a new construction area. And I just was not looking for a new construction house, but all of the features in the house were great. The backyard was much smaller than a lot of the other places we were looking at, which was also a ding against it for me. But the kitchen was solid wood, granite, beautiful, like painted white. Like I wouldn't have had to do any work in this house hardly at all. The master bedroom had an additional sitting room, so it was much larger than any of the master bedrooms we had seen up to this point. The ceilings were very high, which was something I was looking for, and it had a very like kind of open concept situation. But I had found that I kind of actually liked having the house segmented off with high ceilings in different rooms. I didn't want it to be like all one big space. So yeah, it was a nice house. We ended up putting in an offer also to that house just in case, and it was kind of like whoever gets back to us first, I guess that might be what it is. I don't know. But I was like feeling so discouraged, and like literally at a certain point I was kind of in tears because I was just like, why won't they answer us already? But it turned out that the sellers of our favorite house, because they had just gone on the market, they wanted to wait through the weekend to see if they got any other offers and kind of like look at their options. So when I found out that they had other offers, we went back, we upped our offer from the initial like offer that we put in, because we offered them full asking, because I was like, this is the one, this is great, it's way under budget, yeah, check. But once we figured out there were other people interested, I was like, okay, we definitely should up our offer so at least ours looks competitive. So we upped our offer, and at that point we had an offer in at that house, we had an offer in at our secondary option, and we had to fly home, honestly, having no idea which house we were gonna get. You guys, we got the house. That was our first choice. Oh my God, like I was so stressed out yesterday. I was so stressed out. I was so stressed out because our second choice house was a nice house, but it just wasn't like me. It wasn't me like 100%. This house is so me 100%. So we're waiting for them to send over everything so we can start signing our life away. But I am so happy. Like I cannot even, like it doesn't even feel real yet. It doesn't even feel real yet. But if everything works the way that it's supposed to, then we'll be in our new house before the end of the year. And that's going to be a whole new adventure. So I can't wait to show you guys what it looks like. Oh, it's so good. Like when I tell you, like just think about how I love vintage and keep that in mind. Because I was literally able to find us a vintage house. So at the end of it all, we got the house. We got our first pick. And the crazy thing about it is we weren't even the highest offer, but they accepted our offer. And can I just say, that is a testament to how good God is, because he literally gave me the house that was like low-key kind of like my dream house. Everything that I wanted. The house that just felt the most comfortable in the best neighborhood with all of the vibes. And even though we had competition to get the house and we weren't even the highest offer, they went with our offer anyway. And I literally wanted to cry.